out at the property today to do some work, and also getting a chance to get a first look at the work that Native Landscapes did about 5 days ago. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out here when they were working, but talked to Larry. He sent me some videos, a bunch of pictures, and some tracks on Onyx. They had 8 guys out here. A dozer. They pushed off some really thick areas we'll take a look at out here by the power line. But they covered a lot of ground, did their first treatment, a bunch of basal spraying of invasives. But I was just on this eastern logging road here, checking out. They took the dozer through here, kind of making sure that they can get access. Once spring green up comes, they'll come back and do a foliar spray on stuff that's not dead. So the one we started out by the power line looks a lot different, where they opened up some areas, and plans to put some native grass mixes down there and get that coming back in native plants rather than invasives. So we'll go over there and check it out. Here's an open spot on the power line behind me. Where I'm standing, there was an old logging road in here, and it connected a trail. It was just wide enough to get the buggy out, but they pushed back 2 areas in here, and we're gonna go in there and check it out. You can see how it's pretty open in there right now, and that was a section that I talked about when I was marking the down tree structures. This spot in here is where it was pretty heavily infested with invasives, a lot of autumn olive. And then going up the power line right there, he left a couple little clumps of blackberries and raspberries there, but the majority of it he ran it over because that was just a wall that was kind of impenetrable by deer and stuff like that. The birds could go in there, but it'll make it a nice spot. I gotta figure out how much I need, but I'm gonna get seed, native grass mix, and throw it down to hopefully get this stuff coming back up and some lower growth that animals can use. Deer tracks down in the mud. They just back in here checking it out, which will be nice because this area right in here was really not used by the deer. It was too thick. It was all the autumn olives and stuff like that were just choking it out. So should be pretty nice in here once it starts the regrowth process. So it might be hard to see really obviously a before and after, because I didn't have videos of me standing here before they did this work, but just kind of talk it through. This trail right here and this line right on the trees, everything from here down into there was like I said, down there pretty much impenetrable by deer. Just a lot of that autumn olive mostly is what came up here, and you can see grapevines were like up in the trees and stuff, but now you can kind of see down through this stuff, and I'm sure a lot of sunlight here, it'll start coming back like that. If I get that native mix down there in the grasses, it should be pretty sweet. So it just gives this whole bench the deer can use again. And then they pushed off some, so this trail here goes out to the power line, which there was no way that deer were able to use that at all. It was just a wall. And then right out here where Dad is standing, tied this spot in to our main trail that we had coming down the ridge. And same thing, right where the trail turned on the other side of that white oak, it was just a wall of brush. Never did really see any kind of deer movement into there. So I'm gonna go and jump back on the buggy and bring it around, because today what we're gonna do is start dropping trees for these down structures. So I'm back here in the spot where I started the last video, and this is gonna be the first down structure that we're gonna tackle here. Dad and I were kind of just talking on what trees we're gonna go after. So the one that's got the little marking on it, can't tell which way I'm looking here, but we're gonna do that one. There's an oak in here. it's down below these white oaks. There's a big red oak there, a giant red oak right there. So like, it's never gonna get up above those trees anyways. So we're gonna drop that one out of the way, and then hopefully have enough open canopy space to tackle this. I guess it's really a triple trunk maple. And that's gonna be the first like biggest tree that we get down in here, and hopefully we get it down to the ground. So. That's all that's pushing up.
Oh, get that out of there.
That's all that was pushing up. It was just shaking this thing.
Yeah.
Pull that wedge out.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. That's hollow down in there. Down your way. Yeah, so, hey, stop. Watch yourself. Oh. Huh? Watch yourself, because you moved the damn thing. Yeah.
Well, took a little bit longer than expected. When you come in, just so you're, oh, I'm just gonna dump trees. I need 8 or 10 trees down there. Go pretty quick. But as you saw, the first couple we got hung up in trees. It's probably gonna be our biggest thing is you're in woods that's pretty much a solid canopy. Getting those first couple to open it up is a little difficult, but open it up quite nicely. Release this big red oak here in the meantime. I double girdled hickory that's right beside it, and another tree just down the hill from that. You can see big open canopy now. There's deer trails coming down here right above the top of this. There's a trail that cuts out that way. Like I said, the logging roads or the power lines out there. And then right behind me, there's a little flat here. I don't know if it's an old logging road or what, but you can tell there's a deer trail here. It was cutting through. We now got big down structure there, which it won't really matter. They'll honestly just, supposed to bed up against this thing. So there was another trail coming through here, this bench, and going out. So they were bedding somewhere probably off the property down to the south, and then just working all the way out through here to go up to the ag field. So now there should be deer bedding all along this stuff. They don't have to go too far to get the food, and they'll be on the property. So move out to the next one where the buggy's at. At the second spot here, this is that turnaround. Obviously mark that tree. That's eventually going to come down. But walking, same thing as when I said in the snow, coming from that last one we did over to here. There's deer beds right in here, so this will be a good spot to thicken up, and there's no need to come out here and turn around. But Dad's running back to the truck to get some food. The plan is I'm gonna start with this this tree here. I'm gonna try to hopefully, oh no, we actually talked about these maples over here. If I drop that one, it's probably gonna get caught in this Y of this maple. So right here, bottom of these beech trees, it's got leaves on those two maples there. I'm gonna try to drop here into that opening, open that spot up, and then drop that one back here, and then hopefully start building off of that. So start the camera up here, GoPro, and hopefully this goes a little bit better than we started the last one. Well, had a little hiccup there. As you saw, first we kind of got stuck. Cut one right back behind or beside the camera. Was able to push it in, took that one down. This one here is unfortunately hung up in an oak, but since we're somewhere where we can get the buggy, we got a snatch block and some cables. Probably just pull the back end back in there until it comes out of that tree. Should be good. So we're packing up the side by side, all the saws and stuff. Second down structure right here. We counted, I think, nine or 10 decent sized trees that we brought down. A couple of them were the aspens that kind of just exploded when they hit, but looks pretty decent. Get up on here. So we got all these tops out here, and the ridge drops off, so they can bed it right up against the stuff here. See all the way down in that ravine. And then out through there is back to the first one we did. So even in here where these trunks are, when the snow is on, I saw a deer bedded right up against just one single down log. You know, anything they can kind of get their back, they lay down there, their head's only sticking up above that. See them bedding out on the edge of this too. And then looking back up the hill, they're bedding here. They could be facing that way. See any danger coming over the top? Ending this video a little bit differently. It's actually 2 days later and I'm out in the backyard at the house, but just kind of wanted to wrap things up. We completed 3 down tree structures. I was filming stuff for the first 2. We got up to the 3rd one, which was just on that first bench on the main ridge where those aspens were, I talked about in the previous video. And when we got into that, we probably had about an hour and a half maybe until it was gonna get dark. So Dad and I were just trying to work and get that one finished. And actually I took the drone up and flew around a little bit at the beginning of that. Dad was in there cutting stuff, and I was surprised. I was making sure I was up above the trees a decent bit, for obvious reasons, so I didn't like crash, because I've had a mishap a few times with the drone. So it was actually hard for me to even pick out where he was at. Just flying around, I took a couple passes over top of the 2 down structures that we had done right before that, and flew over the top of the area where they use the dozer in there. So the next time I get out there, I definitely want to have the drone up in the air when we're dropping some of the bigger trees. I think that's going to be pretty cool. But until then, thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it.